Hey everyone, hello. Greetings, salutations, welcome. Stream time, baby, stream time. Hope you guys are having a good one. Hello everybody, greetings, salutations, hello. Yo, Rookie the Shaman, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Zythundra, thank you for the tier 1 for 45 months, really appreciate ya. Wow. Oh man. My back. How's everyone doing today? I'm drinking a freaking Red Bull to try and wake the heck up. Rookie, look, hey, listen, or Ruchi, or however you pronounce your name, I do apologize. Do you realize how many names I see pop up and then I have to try and figure out what the name is in the hopes that that individual won't shame me when I get that name butchered because I have no idea how to say your name? Like, I appreciate the subscription, but come on, man. Like, you gotta give me a little bit of leeway. Say my name right, streamer. Say it right the first time. Figure out how to pronounce the name right the first time. You get one guess or I yell at you in chat. So, anyways, whatever. Thank you so much for the sub. Just got watching Pipe Dreamers. Nice. That's a game without a conclusion, so I hope you're okay with that. Oh boy. Name pronunciation, the game only you can use. I mean, yeah, there's there's sort of like a combination with that, you know, because like, I've grown up with speech issues, so it sets me off whenever someone's like, you pronounced that wrong. And I'm like, it is beyond my means, I'm afraid. It's beyond my means. And having the expectation of streamer to get your name right the first time is just not gonna happen. Purple see Twitch and go, is it called World of Flow? And it's like, no, it's World of IO, but I don't get mad when they say it wrong. Where's Shadow Breach? Being worked on. It'll be done soon. It'll be done soon. We're currently writing up, getting a bunch of art assets together, getting the maps done. The first section is pretty much done. I just need to lay it all out. Get a couple of assets done, and then we're actually gonna start recording Shadow's Breach soon. Hey, so I have this pretty stupid question, but why is it called Io? Because it's based off, spoiler alert, it's based off of one of Jupiter's moons. Of the same name, thus Io. And the reason why I chose Io is because, little trivia for you. It's been scientifically established that Io has oxygen in its atmosphere. It's not in a breathable form, but essentially it kind of gave the idea of hospitable celestial bodies. So I chose Io, and then we kind of built everything around that. So yeah. In theory, it can be terraformed. Thus, yeah. I'm so excited for KELD Fallen tomorrow. Me too. It's been fun. I hate marketing backer kits. I hate marketing crowdfunding. It is not my favorite thing. Because at the end of the day, I just want to be like, hey, a thing's coming out. And I say it once and then people show up. And unfortunately, you have to, in the content creation space especially, you have to kind of repeat things over and over and over and over and over and over. And they get one side that goes, oh, wow, I didn't know that. Thank you so much for letting me know. And they get another side that's like, oh my God, would you shut up? You've said this 5 million times. And I'm like, it's not for you. It's not, it's for the people that didn't know, because that's not how it works. I did me budget to get the book. Good. I'm excited. Make sure you guys are backing within your means tomorrow when we go live. When we go live, it'll be really good. Thanks for letting me know how to shut up. Yeah, it is. It is. Sometimes individuals think they're the only ones that they're being talked to, and it's like, I'm glad that you know. Some people don't know. And you gotta let them know. Is the book gonna be on D&D Beyond? No plans at this time. I know you guys want to see D&D Beyond books, but I just don't have those connections with Wizards of the Coast. I just simply don't. I either have to be, north of a 1 million+ subscription channel, or we need to have like a 1 million+ Kickstarter or backer kit to be noticed by Wizards. So they go, hey, And since we're working on adventure modules, I don't really think we're going to break that mold this time. I don't know how well we're gonna do. So you gotta be Critical Role. You don't have to be Critical Role. You just have to have a very, very successful Kickstarter. The closer to 1 million, the better, which is crazy, Which is crazy to me. But also, like I said, obviously we're doing the best we can to raise as much money as we can for KELD Fallen, as well as Into the Astral Breach, which is going to be the adventure module for Shadows Breach. But I think our next best chance, quote unquote, is gonna be when we release the cooking book. The channel has been popping off recently. It sure has. It sure has. If we have the ability to work with Wizards of the Coast when it comes to D&D Beyond, I'm down. I know I've already inquired about Why Slay Dragons. They left me on red, so I'm kind of leaving it alone. I don't go to like convention. I don't do the convention things. I don't do expos and conventions and networking. I hate networking. I don't like it. It's just ugh. Like you have to like establish yourself in a way where you're like, hey, this is a cool thing I'd like to work with you, blah, blah, blah. But you also have to make sure you're doing it so it doesn't sound like you're trying to like get something from the individual, but technically you are trying to get something from the individual. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I would love to actually go to expos and like make my presence a little bit more established and well known, because it is known. It is known. When people know what I do, they go, oh yeah, I know what that is. So like we're doing good on that end. I just don't like to do the whole networking, get out there, and there's just so much going on, and that I find myself wanting to be at home working on the thing instead of going out trying to sell the thing, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where that is, So, but yeah, I would love if the books were on D&D Beyond. I think that would be great, and I think we have the possibility one day to do it. But at the same time, like I have no interest in like, getting into Wizard's face and being like, put this book up there, So, if it happens, great. Otherwise, you know where to purchase it. Quite a few D&D that have been successful, so I think it's just a point of making steady progress. Yeah, and I don't know, like I also feel like when you're quote unquote popping off, like people have this weird expectation of you, they want you to be like, oh yeah, well if you got a big YouTube channel, where's your Twitch presence? Where's your Twitter presence? Where's your XYZ presence? Is your Discord popping off? Is all this shit happen? And then when people see like a lacking in a certain thing just because that area hasn't been focused, it goes, oh, that's so weird. Huh, I guess you're not that popular after all. Huh. And I'm like, that to me, that's always been like the weirdest take to me. Sorry if this comes across wrong, but any idea when the rest of KELD Fallen episodes will come out of membership only? Tomorrow, Ammo. Tomorrow. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock, the first episode of KELD Fallen will come out. I recently found your channel of it. Question about fan art. Is the Discord for fan art separated by series? Yes, it is. There's different threads for it. Go check it out. Why aren't you on Kick? I know that's a joke question, but I have no interest in being on Kick. Any sort of platform that seems politically leaning towards one direction, I just have no interest in being on. Personally, I think we should be keeping politics out of our entertainment, honestly, but yeah, but honestly, yeah, Junicare, the big thing is the gambling aspect that's on Kick. I know Kick can pay a lot of money for contracts and stuff like that. Especially Kick being so leaned heavy into the gambling side of things, I just don't want my content on that. There are certain things that I've told myself I'm just not gonna do. For example, and again, when I say this, there is definitely no slight. There definitely is no slight on anyone that does have like energy product endorsements and things like that. Like, I know like there's a lot of like energy drinks out there that sort of like, you know, that streamers tend to latch onto to be like, hey, use my code to get X energy drink. And I don't do that because of the caffeine. Caffeine's a drug. And yeah, I know it's like more like people attach onto that and go, you know, like, oh yeah, everyone drinks coffee, everyone drinks tea, blah, blah, blah. And I get that. I totally get that. But I don't want to advertise a drug, essentially. No slight, again, no slight to, there. So yeah. So no blah. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, obviously. I'm not gonna be saying the names of these companies. But yeah, no. I don't want to do it. I think if I were to advertise anything with caffeine in it, it would probably be tea. Maybe. You know? So yeah. Who animates? I'm assuming you're asking the question, who does our animations for the shorts? That would be Burbanar. So yeah. Makes sense to not just have to worry about edge. Yeah, I mean, that's where, again, like, it isn't a statement. It isn't me being like, if you sponsor these things, you're terrible. It's just a personal decision I've made. Like, I won't advertise for any tobacco products. I'm not gonna advertise for alcohol. I won't advertise for any drug products. I won't do any of that just because yeah. The mega bosses you made for Strahd and Devil Stew are amazing. Thank you so much. I'm really glad you enjoyed that. It was definitely a new thing to try. I liked how it all came across. When I made the Raccoon Wizard, also a bird bones. Is it even legal to advertise tobacco on Twitch? I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, I wouldn't do, what are things I won't advertise? I won't advertise an AI model. I won't advertise tobacco, alcohol, caffeine, crypto. Like I won't advertise any of that. So I think people understand the difference between energy drink and something like coffee and tea. I mean, I drink energy drinks all the time, you know? And like I said, I have no issues if a streamer does advertise it. It's just something that I don't do. Sponsorships and advertising is hard work. Yeah, I'm leaving my agency just because there really wasn't, for me, there really wasn't any sort of like anything I really wanted to advertise to you guys. You know, everything that could have been advertised, I was like, like, you guys don't want to, you don't want to watch me play a random game. You guys are in it for the D&D. You know, you're in it for the TTRPG space. So I'd love to get more into that. But again, a lot of that is just Jesus, you know? You want a tea sponsor that's always Dodger coffee? I'm not going to ask Dodger for a sponsorship. I know, I also am interested in making my own, looking either a tea company or a coffee company. I think that would be a lot of fun. Now, if I only had a BG3 sponsor stream, nah, I'm kind of an odd duck. when it comes to this. And ask any more new game set in Ganymede to really enjoy the sci-fi setting of the Frog Homie. Thank you so much. We have no plans for a season 2 for Ganymede. We might revisit Ganymede at a future date, but I don't have plans for a season 2 for Ganymede at this time. I wouldn't mind watching you play some Baldur's Gate. Well, so happy that you would not mind that, because I've got some news for you. So, big reason for the stream. We're doing some Q&A in between of it, but tomorrow is our backer kit for KELD Fallen. For those that don't know what BackerKit is, it is a type of crowdfunding platform, much like Kickstarter. We're using BackerKit because it has a really big presence in the TTRPG community, and it's just something that I've enjoyed working with in comparison to other crowdfunding platforms. We go live at 2 p.m. EST, so you guys are able to toss some money to fund this book that we're making called KELD Fallen. KELD Fallen is an adventure module that we use the final season for Deadbeats. Yes, we'll talk about Deadbeats because I do want to clarify some things because there seems to be a little bit of confusion. The confusion will continue whether I say it or not. But we have written an adventure module. We've written it. We still have to format it, of course. We've got a lot of art for it done, a lot of maps for it done. Now we just need to put it all in a book. But yeah, we're raising money for KELD Fallen, which is our first ever adventure module in the IO-verse, which I'm super excited about. And it's our first step towards making an actual IO-verse or World of IO campaign setting and book. So if you haven't signed up for it now, I do recommend you do. We're almost at 1,200 signups, which is absolutely huge. So thank you very much for everyone who has signed up. I do also want to let you guys know we have a free dice offer. To redeem those free dice, you have to put down a $1 reservation. And then with that $1 reservation tomorrow, pledge a tier that has a physical item as a part of it. So that way we can send the dice with you, with the item that you purchased. And yeah, you get a free set of dice when you do that. So make sure you guys sign up. And yes, for those that want to know about KELD, when is KELD Fallen going live series-wise for the Deadbeats KELD Fallen, it is going live tomorrow at 5 p.m. EST. The first episode of Deadbeats KELD Fallen, aka the final season of Deadbeats, will be going live. It will be released publicly. It will not require a membership. And yeah, I want to clarify some things. And I've said this, I feel like a handful of times now, but people really want to take swings at me and thinking that I'm some sort of selfish, greedy bastard that paywalled the final season of Deadbeats, when honestly, that is not the case, or that wasn't the intention. So for those that are curious, I've been getting a lot of questions that have been like, hey, I saw that the final season of Deadbeats, you have to be a member. What the hell? How do I, why did you do this? Blah, 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 blah. So the plan for the final seasons of Deadbeats and In the Shadows Breach was that it was going to be pre-recorded. The pre-recorded sense would be that we would record the entire season and then release it out publicly. We're doing this because of primarily it's just scheduling issues, and also I really wanted to spend some quality time manufacturing and creating the final season, which meant getting all the maps done, getting all the art done, really polish it up so that we can turn this into an adventure module for people that will actually have the ability to purchase it and play with it on its own. But the plan was always, hey, once all the episodes are done, we will publicly release them weekly, so that way you have an uninterrupted viewing experience when it comes to the final season. And then I said, what we could do, which would also help fund the campaigns and allow us to make items before we do any sort of backer kit or crowdfunding, is that we will release the episodes for early access, meaning if you're a YouTube member or you're a Patreon or anything like that, you get access to it. But we also had it with the caveat of that, hey, you might see some really long pauses between episodes based off of scheduling. So there might be an episode that comes out in early access, and then you won't see another episode for 3 to 4 weeks after that. That was the intent. But people have looked at this as, oh my God, I can't believe the final season of Deadbeats is behind a paywall, which was never the plan, was never the case. And so this is what we're doing for the second part of it, which is now that everything's done, now that the series is finished, we are now going to be doing a weekly release of the final episodes without you needing a membership, which you never have. But we are going to keep that early access playlist available, so if people do want to become a member and just binge watch the whole thing, they're free to do that. Otherwise, all you have to do is essentially release the weekly. You just watch it a weekly release. And just to be clear, for anyone who is still like going off because we put this in early access, the release would have been the same whether we had an early access or not. So we're releasing the first episode of KELD FALLEN on April 28th at 5 p.m. EST. If we did not have early access for the episodes that we've worked on, it still would have been released on April 28th at 5 p.m. EST. It would have not changed the time. It wouldn't have changed what you at all. So yeah, just want to make sure that was all cleared up. Does that make sense to everyone? I feel like whenever I talk about this on stream, people are like, yeah, I get it. It's always like the stray YouTube commenter that wants to take a swipe and be like, well, I think it's just bullshit that you blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, the solution that you're providing at that point is don't do an early access and still release it at the same. So now nobody gets to see it until April 28th at 5 p.m. So it's, I don't know, to me that feels a little selfish to be like, well, I can't see it, so I don't want anyone else to see it. And I'm like, that seems silly. You know what I mean? That seems a little out there. So I don't know. Call me that. YouTube comments just, dude. I got hit with a few yesterday that just ruined my fucking day, and I'm still recovering from it. Like, it's just, it could be a little rough. Will there be VODs from the BG3 playthrough? Yes! We're doing Baldur's Gate. We might do it tomorrow, or we're doing Wednesday. I'm gonna be real with you. I really have not been involved with the Baldur's Gate game at all. Hey, Skysphere, thank you for the 1,000 bits. I've played very little Baldur's Gate 3. I just have not had time to play it. So I am looking forward to playing it while we're raising money for KELD Fallen. We're off this week from D&D. I think Friday we're going to try and do a Devil's Due patch note stream. And yeah, makes sense seeing how much you play. Yeah, I mean, that's essentially it, Cryo Drake. It's that I don't have time. I just don't have fucking time, man. You know, between the game. And that's another, I'm sorry, I'm still taking swipes at this. That's the other thing. I get really annoyed with people who come swing. Like, for example, we had technical issues with the last episode of Curse of Strahd at the beginning. And I had to go in and essentially fix it because the dice roller decided not to work at that point. And I got someone, I think it's the same person who continuously bitches whenever this happens. And they were like, what does he even do? What does he even do between sessions? Like, does he even fucking work out this shit? Like, does he even like do, he does nothing, man. He's just so lazy. And it's like, brother, you just because you don't see the work that goes in these campaigns doesn't mean it's something I'm half-assing, okay? It just so happens to be that Foundry VTT, especially when it pushes out a release, you know, last minute, that sometimes a thing will just stop working. The thing will just stop working. And unfortunately, it was the dice roller. And so we took a break. I switched to a different mod that has a different dice roller. That worked out well, and we were able to continue the session at that point in time. I also don't like it when the thing doesn't work. So if you're taking swipes at me because tech don't work, apologies. But like, Jesus Christ, man. And then also people who are like, oh my God, he's just doing a cash grab for KELD Fallen early access. And it's like, I want to make sure that the final season of these phases are like good for you guys. You know what I mean? That the viewing experience is uninterrupted for you. That's something that you guys really can enjoy from start to finish, week release, edit in and out. And what I should have done was just worked on that and then didn't stream any more episodes, but I didn't. I made sure that we were still streaming campaigns. You know what I mean? Which means even more work. It's so ridiculous how entitled people can be sometimes. Anyways, I'm done. Like I said, it's been a tough day. This is usually why I try not to read comments, but Jesus Christ, sometimes people just want to punch me right in the gut. So yeah, absolutely. Can't believe oh, it happens all the time. My own game's been pretty stable lately, but that's because I try not to touch anything for long stretches. Yeah, I try to update everything frequently enough, essentially, so that we are able to keep up to dates there. Yo, Sky Spear, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. If you got gifted a sub by Sky Spear, be sure to thank them in the chat. Thank you. Who is playing the BG3 playthrough? It's just me. It's just me. Did I see the villains UA from Wizards? I have not. Apologies. I haven't had a chance to really read any UA docs. I've just been making the thing. I haven't had a chance to read the thing, unfortunately. We're always working on stuff. And for those that, someone asked about the patch note stream. So, the classes in Devil's Due, along with mechanics, goes through continuous revisions as I get more data that comes in, because it is, you know, Devil's Due it is a funny stream and an entertaining stream, but it is at first a play test stream. So yeah, you can become a Lich now. I did see that, Path to Lichdom, which is awesome. I hope it's not just a subclass, if that makes sense. I hope there's an actual like path to become a Lich. If it is, that's really cool, and I'm excited for the direction that Wizards is taking their shit, because that's I saw what I see. New class. I saw Scion as a new class. I'm happy that they're kind of exploring that. Oh, it's a feat chain, which is interesting, but a little less involved. I like that too. Look. I felt like First Party was getting really comfortable with the formula that they were working with when it came to subclasses. I really do like the fact that they're exploring new options like new classes, and they're exploring like new ways to become things to kind of carve and create your own story. Like, I like that. I really do enjoy that. It does kind of remind me of a little old school thinking when it came from like 3rd edition and stuff like that. So I do enjoy that we're kind of exploring outside the box different game mechanics. I really do like that. And that kind of gives me hope for whoever is the new designers of Wizards of the Coast now, that they're willing to kind of explore outside the box a little bit. I love that. I absolutely love that. Did you hear that they're unionized at WotC? No, I haven't. Good for them. They need to. Jesus Christ. At the rate that Hasbro was just dropping, you know, a number of people out. By the way, I think the reason why I talk about this so openly is probably why you don't see my shit on D&D Beyond. If you want everyone to know why I'm not on D&D Beyond, this is probably one of those reasons where I go, yeah, it's fucking bullshit what they do. So, but yeah. You could always support by purchasing directly on IO Publishing or our Patreon. This is almost first time I'm hearing about the BG3 playthrough. Is this member? No, it's gonna be live. It's gonna be live here. Chat, I'm gonna be real with you, and someone take a swing. I do not have member exclusive content. Everything that we release is eventually going to be publicly available. It just isn't public. Sometimes things aren't publicly available right away, but given enough time, it will become publicly available. Period. There will never be a membership only game where you cannot watch it unless you're a member. There will never be a membership only series where you could only watch it if you're a member. Membership on YouTube is early access. That's the thing. That's the thing. Is that and because people see membership only videos, they immediately assume the worst, which is kind of like come on. Like, you gotta be doing something bad. If I have steered you wrong, like, please let me know. I will you know, I will correct accordingly. But I do think that if you're gonna make an assumption about me and then spread that as fucking rumors, like as fact, can I tell you right now? Like, I got one comment that was like, are you gonna gate the final season of Curse of Strahd too? And someone's like, no, he's not doing that. It was like, where did you hear that? It's like, oh, I saw it on like a comment. I don't remember, but that's what I heard what was happening and blah. It's like, dude, like, how, first of all, how do you think that's okay to be like, I don't know, I don't remember, but and then immediately take it as gospel? How is that acceptable? Bro, if I'm gonna take swings at you, you know I'm coming with receipts. I'm coming with receipts immediately. But if you go, I don't know, I think it was this, but anyways, I don't remember where I got it, but it's gospel and truth to me. No, wrong! You fucking idiot! Because then your bullshit lies spreads to other people who treats it as facts. And then they come in swing and be like, oh, this is what I heard. And it's like, show your work, dipshit. You're like, oh yeah, my work is the guy who said he saw it from another comment. He just didn't remember what the fucking comment was. Like, ah! Oh my God. Grow the fuck up. Grow the fuck up. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Thank you for coming to my goddamn TED Talk. Because here's the shit about me, right? There are hundreds of thousands of you, and there is me. And all it takes is one dipshit to spread a rumor that is not correct to another person and go, really? That fucking sucks. What an asshole. Because of some dude who was wrong. Do you realize how shitty that is for people? So, like, if you want to take a swing, take a swing. But my God, you better show your work. I had a person one time say some shit. And then I said to them, hey, that's hurtful. I don't appreciate it. Let me go ahead and clarify. You know, I try to come at it with facts. I try to leave emotions out of it when it comes to responses like that. So I know. It seems impossible with what you're fucking hearing right now. But I try to come in with like, hey, I'm here to correct. I'm not here to chastise. And then I quite literally had someone's response be, oh, I didn't know you were gonna read this. Oh, I didn't know you were gonna read this. I didn't know. And I'm like, bitch, you just saying shit thinking that I'm not gonna fucking see what you're saying and then respond to it in a healthy and a healthy and a communicative way? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Are you joking with me right now? Anyone who does something because they don't think they're gonna get caught doing it, like that should be the red flag right there. That should be the red flag. That needs to be your red flag. I'm gonna say this thing because no one's gonna catch me saying it. Is so unhinged. It's so insane. I don't know. I think for me, my look. I judge me on what I do. Judge me on what I do. Let me know, call me out. You know, if you've got things like, hey, you did this thing, XYZ. Don't come in with assumptions. Don't come in with your own biases and backgrounds with those assumptions. Just don't fucking do it, okay? Because it's insane. Because when you do that, someone else comes in and treats it as fact. It's just so insane. It's so crazy. And you know, content creators try their best to like avoid that shit, but sometimes it just can't be fucking avoided. Especially when you have to read your comments because you're raising money for a book. You go, ugh. As a new DM making my campaign, I've read articles and watched videos on the do's and don'ts of new DMs. Do you have any personal advice you can give? Yes. The two, I guess the three biggest advice I could give, the three pieces of advice I can give to DMs. There's a lot of pieces of advice I can give, but I think the key ones that really pop up at the forefront of my mind are have fun. I think that is so important, is that you have fun. Because if you're having fun, your players are going to have fun. If you're not having fun, everyone at the table is going to be miserable. So have fun. Number two would be, this is kind of tied between two and second and third place. So I'm going to say 2 and 3 kind of have the same weight. But actually no, I'm gonna get, okay, number 2 has more weight than number 3. So number 2 is don't be discouraged. Don't, if something doesn't go right, don't be discouraged. Don't beat yourself up. Don't, you're gonna make mistakes. Look who you're talking to. I make mistakes all the time. I've been doing this shit for 25 years now. I still make mistakes. You make a mistake, you learn from the mistake, you try and figure out a solution so you don't make that mistake again. That is totally okay. But don't think it's the end of the world or you can't DM because a mistake was made. Don't do that. It's not fair on you. It's super not fair on you. And then the third one is, it's not a competition. It's not DM versus players. You come together to create a story. You're sort of a narrator slash, like administrator almost of the story. But all you're doing is just helping players weave a tale they want to do. And that in itself is a lot of fun. So don't make it DM versus player. Don't have that mindset. It's not a PvP game. So, and just, it sounds ridiculous, right? But I feel like was, at least back in my day, that was a common issue where it'd be like, oh, the DMs are trying to kill their players. Or the players are like, hey, let's not do XYZ, or let's not tell the DM because we need to have the upper hand. And it just creates this sort of hostile environment. So, yeah, that's it. There are a lot of rules advice I got, but more, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, just try your best, the human element, it is all about the human element. Got anything to say to talk down to players who feel like it should be players versus DM? Well, first of all, don't talk down to your players, because that is absolutely the incorrect way to go about it. The fact that you would say talk down to is already like red flag. You know what I mean? Because that, again, talk down players, not talk down to. I mean, I think talking down or talking down to, it's the same. To me, I know it's of different things, but it's still the same outcome, which is don't do it. Don't talk down to a player as if you're trying to get him off the ledge. Don't talk down to a player as if you're higher up there. You just talk to someone. Just talk to someone as I'm assuming this would be a friend, or if you're at a game shop running, be like at the end of the game, be like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And be like, hey, so, I kind of have this feeling that this is becoming a little adversarial at the table. And I just kind of want to clarify that, that it really, first of all, but why does it feel like it's adversarial to you? Like why, this kind of is coming on, you're kind of coming off as sort of player versus DM. Why do you feel that way? What's kind of come to this? And give some examples if they're like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, well, when you did this, it kind of came across a little adversarial, a little aggressive. And I just kind of want to see where you're coming from, but also kind of keep it open with the fact that, you could also have been mistaken. So don't really come at it with like, hey, I need to talk down or talk someone down from something or an action, because it could also be a misinterpretation on your side. Everyone's human at the table, but essentially be like, hey, I'm kind of getting some weird vibes. It's feeling a little adversarial. You know, when you did this, it kind of felt like this was turning more into a player versus DM situation instead of collaborative effort. And I just want to see how you feel about that. What are your thoughts about that? And give them the chance to talk. Don't interrupt. Don't be like, yeah, well, blah, blah, blah. It's, again, nothing has to be, there doesn't have to be a winner when it comes to that, you know? It's, don't look at things as like a win-lose scenario. Just have a conversation. Let people say what they need to say, and then give your thoughts as well. And that's it. That's it. That's yeah. I think especially in the like nerd and geek fandoms, right? People have a really hard time communicating with each other because they don't like confrontation. And having a conversation with someone about something that you felt personally uncomfortable with can come across aggressively. So I think it's just really important when you are addressing yourself that you are being transparent, you know, but also openly. You don't talk to someone, talk with someone. Go, hey, these are some things I've noticed, you know. And I just kind of wanted to see where you were at, where you're at this, and how do you feel about that? Just so I can have a better understanding. Because when you did this, it made me feel this way. So I'm just trying to see, like, what's happening here, you know, and give people the space. But yeah, you never want to go to someone or hit someone up with a and I've been guilty of this too. Hey, you did this thing and it hurt my feelings, and you don't want to do that because right off the bat, you're making them feel bad and essentially forcing them to change their ways because of how it made you feel. You know what I mean? When at the end of the day, a conversation just needs to happen, and it needs to be back and forth. It really just needs to be a, hey, so I kind of want to talk to you about this thing that I've seen repeatedly happen, where I feel like you're getting a little, you know, adversarial. I feel like you're getting a little competitive where it's turned into a player versus DM. And then also brings like at this moment, you know, when you did this, like, and be specific with these examples. You know what I mean? Where like, hey, like for example, I saw you did this, and I also saw this, and both times just kind of felt a little adversarial. And I just kind of wanted to see, you know, where you were at with that, just so I have a better understanding, but also want to take the opportunity to let you know how I felt about that. Because some white people will come and be like, you hurt my feelings, and I'm going to tell you hurt my feelings. And then they kind of come across very aggressive, you know, where it's like, hey, you hurt my feelings, and I want you to feel bad about that. So then we can be friends and you don't do it again. Now, like, no, like, let's have a conversation, because maybe their response to that is like, well, you know, when you did XYZ, that also felt a little competitive. So it could literally be them reacting to something that you don't even realize you're doing. You know what I mean? So again, just as it is with playing, I know I rambled this answer a while, just like it is with playing, don't come at something with there needs to be a winner and loser of this conversation. At the end of the day, come at it with an open mind, open heart, express how you're feeling. Don't come in with any assumptions or conclusions. And yeah, you know, and just kind of be like, hey, I wanted to talk about a couple of these things. You know, it's kind of to me, it's coming across a little adversarial, but I'd like to know, you know, like, what were your thoughts behind that? What were your, you know, where were you at that moment? You know, because it could be they didn't realize they were doing that. It could have been a reaction to something that you were doing, like all those things. Hey, Mr. Byte, thanks for the Prime sub. Really do appreciate it. So hopefully I hope that answered your question, but you know, I feel like there was like a window of this where people just didn't talk to each other, and they would just talk shit behind other people's backs because they didn't want to get into a quote unquote confrontation with someone because it would make them feel like bad. You know what I mean? Because no one wants to be confrontational. And then it kind of evolved in this thing where it's like, hey, I'm just gonna spit out all my feelings all at once and not say it in a way that makes it feel like it's something we can work on together, but instead makes you the bad guy because of how you made me feel. Because and I feel like we really just need to get to a point where we sit people down and just lay our cards on the table in sort of a neutral aspect, leaving emotions at the door, express like, hey, you know, when this happened, it felt like this, and I just wanted to talk about it and see, like, hey, are we cool? Did something happen here? Like, what is there something that you need from me? You know, because this needs to be a back and forth. This can't be I didn't like that you did that. Stop doing that. You know, and obviously there are going to be things where you just need to be aggressive and say quit it. But like, when it comes to the game, like, be like, hey, like, let's as friends, let's talk about this. So, and communication's always a work in progress, and that's why we do that, you know. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question. That was a long-winded answer. So yeah, it's just a post session. Don't make a big deal out of it. Don't be like, hey, I need to see you after the game. Just be like, well, everyone's just get up from the table. Be like, oh, hey, Phil, can I talk to you about something real quick? That's it. But I want to know what the price of the backer kit will be when it goes live tomorrow. Yeah, we can go over that. By the way, KELDFallen.com, here's everything we're offering for the backer kit tomorrow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. So yeah, let's go over the pledges. Why not? That sounds like fun. That sounds like something fun we can do. Do we ask here in chat or somewhere else? Yeah, ask whatever you want. Just understand that I'm not going to answer every question. And yeah, I would love an IODM screen. We'll release that one day. So first and foremost, let's talk about our beginning tier, the add-on tier. So for those, if you guys, actually, let's not talk about this first. Reverse that. We're gonna put that. We're gonna save that towards the end. So the first tier that you guys are gonna be able to pledge is going to be our PDF tier. This is, what the fuck? Oh, my background changed. I was like, Windows, what's happening? I thought a bunch of windows closed, and no, it was just my background changing. Jesus Christ. Our first tier is our PDF tier. It's a DRM-free PDF. It will have hyperlinks, bookmarks, all that stuff, and it has the contents of the entire book will be in the digital PDF tier. I don't have a page count. I specifically don't have a page count because this is our first time working on an adventure module, and I just genuinely don't know how many pages it's going to be. So it's gonna have, but the pages will be just chock filled with content. That is the big thing there. What's cool about KELD Fallen is an adventure module. First off, it's 5.0 and 5.5 compatible, which means if you haven't updated to the newest rule set, you can still play this game. We will also include a little mini rule set to let you know of some things that you can do to convert the game over to 5.0. And keep in mind when I say that, it's like 1-2 paragraphs. It essentially lets you know that you can play this game in 5.0 or 5.5 with any of the classes that you would like to do it in. The only thing we add is there are a new area of effect called Emanation, which was introduced in 5.5 that we define for you right there in that paragraph. And that potions are now bonus action consumables. That's it. That is your conversion notes. See, look what I did. Look what we did there. Look what I gave you the entire conversion for free. But otherwise, everything else is completely compatible with that. So yeah, it's $30 for the digital PDF. The next tier that people are going to be going for is going to be our hardcover book. So I want to let you guys know, this is really important for me, that when we're doing crowdfunding and you get a hardcover book, no matter what the hardcover book is, you will get a digital PDF with it. So if you go into our add-ons, because we are also going to be selling Fiendish Forge and Why Slay Dragons to be Fishing, if you purchase a book through that, you will also get the digital PDF immediately. So there you go. How are you tracking factions and their activities? I don't know what you mean by that, Biz. So just I'll just go ahead and put your clarification. I'll read it later. The hardcover book is $60, and this is all USD, and it will also come with a digital PDF. So you don't need to purchase a PDF and hardcover book separately. If you plan on buying the hardcover book, you want the digital PDF, all you gotta do is purchase the hardcover book, and you will get the PDF with it when it's done. Also, if you buy Fiendish Forge or Why Slay Dragons to be Fishing and you buy the hardcover book, you get a digital PDF. You'll get access to that digital PDF after the campaign's completion. So after the 30 days that we have for the campaign, we will distribute the digital PDFs for Why Slay Dragons and for When You Could Be Fishing and for Fiendish Forge. We aren't for KELD Fallen because KELD Fallen hasn't been made yet. We got a bunch of notes, bunch of pictures, bunch of tokens, but it really needs to be all compiled. So just pledged. We haven't, Sky, we haven't started, unless you meant just you posted your reservation, but just letting you know, we haven't started the backer kit yet. For the $1 thing. Okay, you reserved. Understood. I just want to make sure. I was like, I don't know if you put some money down on a thing, but that's not us, dog. For the first time, we are doing a limited edition hardcover book for $100 US. Right now, the limited edition collector's edition of the hardcover book is going to have a new unique art, different from the other book. We are currently looking into some options with the book, including embossing, maybe foiling. We're gonna really figure out a way to make this collector's edition special. I don't actually have the answer of what that will be, and I will also leave that open to conversation for our backers when we do kind of get into that part of, when we start getting into that. But right now it is a special limited edition cover. And then like I said, I'm going to be looking at ways to make it special without raising the price at all. So it'll be $100. It comes with the limited edition collector's book as well as the digital PDF. So I want to put the disclaimer right now so there is no confusion. And I've said this a couple of times now. There is no content difference between a standard hardcover book and a collector's edition book. You're paying for the limited cover print. So if you don't worry about a collector's edition having more content than the other, they both will have the same content. So yes. Just because it's been advertised way back then, 2023, is there any plans of supporting any popular system beyond 5e? Not at this time. Because it takes a lot of time to already make these books. Maybe in the future, really depends if there's a big presence for it. I think that's a conversation I'll have once we start raising more money for our backer kit, essentially. Correction, how do you keep in mind what organization, factions, and groups are up to aside from player characters? For example, if you have a Thieves Guild organization that has worked for, you're talking about you're talking about in general, not for the KELD Fallen thing. So yeah, just keep notes. I think that's the big thing. Keep notes every time a long rest happens. Maybe do a tracker. Like I think there are different ways you can go about that. But I mean, just good note keeping, I think, is the answer to that. What levels does KELD Fallen cover? So originally we said 7th to 12th level, and BACKERKIT, Deadbeats, the Deadbeat series is from 7 to 12, might even be 11, I want to say. But for the book, we're going to do 5 to 12, kind of give you guys a little bit of extra wiggle room when it comes to leveling up and things like that. So absolutely. Let's see here. Epic Sigh, let's see. I'm reading your message. So you might be uniquely suited to answer this. I make table content based off of VTubers. Okay. And a goal of mine is to run a one-shot for the streamers where they play as their online persona. I have 10 years of tabletop experience, but none is online. I've searched for a year plus for players and had no success anywhere. I mean, I can't really offer you a suggestion for that Epic Sigh. At the end of the day, you reach out, contact, pitch, and ultimately it's up to the VTubers if they want to do it or not. And if there is no response, then I would leave it be. I definitely wouldn't insist on the matter if that makes sense. Agony Spirit screams, you aren't on YouTube. Hey, YouTube, are we on right now? Just let me know if we're just let me know if we're on right now on YouTube. You let me know. You let me know, champ. Hey, YouTube chat, we on? So yeah, Epic Sigh, at the end of the day, ask. If you don't receive an answer, there's your answer. But I definitely wouldn't be insistent on it if you haven't received an answer, because that's kind of where you start getting into a little harassing at that point in time, which harassing bad. Harassing bad. Absolutely. So. But also, like, I don't know, like, it feel to me, like, I don't want to be things where I'm wondering if my pitch might be bad. Yeah, and I'm not here to clean up your, and I'm gonna be clear with you. I'm not gonna help clean up your pitch to a content creator. I'm very sorry about that. That's just. I don't feel super comfortable about that. I will say, if you came to me and said, hey, I want you to play a game, I have you as a character already, and I've made your character, and I'd like you to play as your persona, as your rack persona, I would have odd feelings about that, you know? I think it'd be different if you were like, hey, this is a world, and I was wondering, like, if you could play as your character or your VTuber or whatever, and that's the pitch. But when you go, hey, I made a thing and I made your persona and I did all these things, and like you have like weird abilities for me that are things like that that are kind of themed around me, I'd feel a little weird about that personally. That's just me. I'm obviously not speaking on behalf of anyone else, but I'd feel a little, it feels a little parasocial to me personally. So, and if you know me, chat, I'm definitely not on that. So yeah. Will you be doing tier 4 material? I don't think we have enough level 20 campaigns. We'll enjoy seeing more from general community. No. So the reason why we cap at level 12 Cryo Drake is because 13 beyond kind of gets a little too wacky for adventure modules IMO. So I mean, maybe one day, but I feel like there would have to be a complete restructuring and balancing of the classes to actually do that. So yeah. I always wondered, are the Twitch comments also available to see through YouTube? Like, are they integrated? I mean, I have 2 separate comments. I don't post them on my stream specifically because we've had some bad apples that have done some pretty nasty things because of that. So we don't post chats on stream anymore. But I have both chats there so I can read from both. So yeah. Is there a preferred way to support World of Vile? I give subs when I can. I mean, financially speaking, Patreon honestly is the best way to go about it. Otherwise, showing up for crowdfunding like we're doing tomorrow, is the best way to do that. Why is Crowned in so many campaigns? Because I wanted you to ask me that question. That's why Crowned's in so many campaigns. No, I mean, at the end of the day, Crown's reliable. He's a great player. He comes in with a DM mindset. And yeah, that's good. Those are good things to have for a play, you know, for one of your players in a party. So So yeah. Yes. Yeah, I for me personally, when it comes to running a game, reliability is a must, is a vital importance. If you're a reliable individual, I will continuously invite you into my games. Because at the end of the day, this is my living, so it's really important to have players who are reliable. And it's, you know, to players, it's a game that they're having fun at, which is absolutely how it should be. You know, our players come play a game; they're not there to work, essentially. So I don't. Yeah. Is there going to be a joining the antagonist option in the book? Maybe. Perhaps. So, okay. Will they be planning on bringing back some older Phase 2 players who have yet to make an appearance in Phase 3? I'm thinking. I mean, who knows? Maybe. I'm not running as many games as I used to, just because of everything is going on, and so I don't lose my fucking mind. You know what I mean? But maybe. Absolutely. Okie dokie. So yeah, takes notes for future applications. I will also never bring in a viewer, I think is also something I've been really transparent about. So individuals have to come recommended by other players or someone that I personally want to play with, but I have no intentions of bringing viewers into the games. So yeah. Anyways, so yeah, $100 is going to be the limited edition book. And, yeah. So there it is. I found your shorts and wanted to watch the campaign. I know it's crowned so many. Yeah, that's the answer, Vadis. That is the answer. Juniper's also in a lot of my games too. So it's very interesting to me because like Crown's in a lot and Junie's in a lot. And this is the first time I'm actually getting people who are like, why is Crown in so many games? Yeah, Crown's just a good player to play around with, so. All right. After that, if you want to go exclusively digital, we have a $100 tier for that. Digital PDF, Foundry VTT module, digital tokens, and digital maps. All for 100. This is the tier that you want to go for if you don't want anything shipped to you. We have a pin tier as well. If you're a fan of the Deadbeats, you can get yourself a full Deadbeats pin set. $120 comes with the hardcover book, digital PDF, as well as the entire crew of the Deadbeats. We also threw Eli in there for good measure. So yeah, that'll be for those that want to get the pins. Totally get the pins. I'm very excited about it. I think they're going to be 1.5 inch enamel. Someone was asking about this, and I'm happy to let you guys know that we are also including collector edition tiers for all of our other physical tiers. So if you want to upgrade your book to limited edition, you just choose the limited edition version of that tier. So paid limited edition gives you the limited edition book instead of the standard hardcover book. And then we've got our dice tier for Dice Goblins. For our lovely Dice Goblins out there. We got a few dice sets we're going with this time. No dice tray this time. We didn't have time to do it, but maybe there'll be one that'll come out for Astral Breach. But that'll come with, oh, whoops, sorry about that. That's the wrong one. I'm going standard. Hardcover book, digital PDF. All the dice sets, KELD Fallen standard dice set, Hellebore, Sharp Edge dice set, and a Mega D20 Hellebore. Will the Foundry digital tier have a discount on the physical book, or will we have to buy the book separately? You will have to buy the book separately. So, yeah. The digital tier is just for everyone who wants all the digital goods, essentially. And then, of course, we have our limited edition version, which is the same, but also has that one's $200 if you want the limited edition book and all the dice as well. For those asking about wanting the Foundry VTT module as well as the hardcover book, I would recommend doing an add-on for the digital tier. But we do also have the all-in tier. We have hardcover book, an edition book. You get both digital VTT module, Foundry VTT. Digital PDF, Foundry VTT, pins, all the dice, all the digital tokens, all of that. $400 gets you everything. Everything we're offering is our legendary tier for 400 USD. USD's also got a little weak, so if you're in the EU, damn. All I'm gonna say about that. Damn. Next up, actually, final up. Don't be scared. The Super Boss tier, which is our legendary tier, but gives you the ability to pitch a Super Boss. Terms and conditions do apply to the pitch, so make sure if you do pledge this tier, which is a pretty massively sized tier, make sure you read through everything. Please not blind pitch this tier. We do have some limits of what you can pitch, and wanted to clarify and let you guys know, especially for putting that idea in a book. So make sure you guys do read the terms of that. And yeah. And if you see a tier that you don't like and you kind of want to build your own, we do have our add-on tier where you put down $1 and then you go onto our add-on section and then just build the tier the way that you want it. The only difference between this and the tiers is you're not getting the discount. So for example, someone was asking about the digital tier. You may want to take this, which is $100, which already discounts a bunch of stuff, and then grab yourself a hardcover book as along with that. So, or honestly, I would say get the hardcover book for 60, get the Foundry VTT module for 40, skip the tokens, skip the maps, and you get the same tier for 100. So I would recommend that as well. So just kind of work around, build the tier the way that you want to do it. But for that, I would say add-on tier, do hardcover book. You're gonna get the digital PDF with the hardcover book, and then you get the Foundry VTT module for 40, and build your own tier for $100. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Hey! There are closing at the end, like the other phases, or is the phase going forward with new campaigns? Great question, Frosty. We are currently in the middle of wrapping up phase 3. It's going to take some time. So once I have been in talk with the players for March of Feywonder, which I'd like to do when I do have some time. So maybe we'll see them at the end. When Dead Beats is done, I'm going to be starting on Shadow's Breach pre-recording real soon. And I do have one campaign that's sort of in phase, but may not be part of the main story, but is sort of in the same phase. But I'm not going to be starting any new phase 3 campaigns. Honestly, when Pipe Dreamers ended and all that shit went down, I was pretty burned out at that moment. It was a very tiring experience, unfortunately. So, disappointed a lot of people, which I never like to do. Outside of my my circumstances, unfortunately. And yeah, I kind of needed to take a break from everything. So, someone was asking about Paw Patrol. I would love to do a second season. I just don't know if we'll have the time to do it. Right now, I want to get the final season of Shadow's Breach done. So maybe Paw Patrol might come back in the future with the same party. I don't know. Naomi's also got a pretty complicated schedule because of her schooling. No fault or blame of Naomi, and I'll never pin blame on individuals who wish to better themselves through education. Like, absolutely. But yeah, we definitely have priorities of campaigns that need to be done first. But yes, I would love to wrap up phase 2 so we can go on to the next phase of stories, or phase 3, excuse me. I want to get phase 3 wrapped up. Would really like to get phase 3 wrapped up, but it's just taking extra time because I'm putting extra effort into all the stuff we're doing. But yes, those are all the tiers. I hope that answered your question, individual who asked probably an hour and a half ago. Local raccoon blames a player. I am not blaming a player. Not funny, not funny, not funny. Also, we are shipping friendly. We're actually working with multiple fulfillment partners to try and make sure whatever gets shipped out to you with the best rates in mind. So you know, you don't have to be in the US. You could be in the EU. You can be in Asia. You could be, you know, in the Australia region, like anything like that. We do have a short list of countries that we cannot ship to. People were concerned about Central America and South America. As of right now, I believe we are able to ship to that. But of course, when the book comes out, we never know where the world's going to be. I don't have a crystal ball to let you know what everything's going to be happening. So the promise that I offer people is we will always look to get you the best rate possible by working with multiple fulfillment partners. Some fulfillment partners are going to do it better because they're EU-based. Some are going to do it better because they're you know, Asia-based. Some are going to do it better because they're Australian-based. And then we're going to handle the freight and all that shit and get all that handled and taken care of. You know what I mean? So we're going to do our best. We're not going to just ship everything from the US and then international is going to have to pay an assload of money to get that there to you. We're going to be working with multiple fulfillment partners to ensure that we're giving you the best rate no matter where you are in the world. So yeah. Can you ship to America? Yeah. Yeah. I am in North Korea. Can you send me? No one has said no. So maybe? I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. I don't think anyone said I can't do North Korea, which is weird. That's weird, right? Like that doesn't seem right. So, yes, Mike, go for it. Go for it, man. Okay. I think that about covers it. So we're going live tomorrow at 12 p.m. EST. I would love it if you guys could make it for our, even if you aren't planning on backing, still come anyways. It's a fun time. If you've never been to a crowdfunding stream, oh boy. Idel? Wow. Wowee. It's a crazy time. You get to see me pretty much lose my shit. Super fun. Super fun. As you watch me just go. Question, even remember Paw Patrol? I'll answer again. We would like to. It just depends on scheduling. And right now, scheduling is a bit of a bitch. We're going to be focusing on Shadow's Breach first before we talk about Paw Patrol. So not until, at least not until Shadow's Breach is complete with the final season. I'm back, eh? Okay. What do you think is my most popular, well-taken campaigns? Pipe Dreamers, Goblins, Shadow's Breach. Ganymede did all right. I think those are the ones that I can think of. Honestly, they all did great. They all have something different to offer. I don't know if one was ever considered more popular than the other. And I feel like popularity is really a broad spectrum. So yeah. Do you definitively enjoy one over the other in terms of Foundry versus in-person? I prefer Foundry. I haven't run an in-person game in a while. I prefer Foundry. I like having access to a computer. So yeah. Yes. Yes. Roll 20 versus Foundry. Foundry. Oh, also chat. We are going to be having stretch goals this time. I did want to talk about that. We'll talk about it tomorrow as well, but I did want to talk about the stretch goals. So, let me see if I can find it. My desktop is a freaking mess, dog. Yeah, it doesn't matter the platform. I'm gonna yell at it. All right, here we go. So, every 25,000 we raise, we're gonna be adding a new subclass to the book. You'll notice that there are no cost or associated amounts when it comes to the subclasses. And that is because the subclasses are going to be randomly chosen when we reach those amounts. So I will be rolling a dice. For this case will be a D10, or I'll be making a table in Foundry. And every time we raise 25,000, we will be randomly picking one of these classes. That way you guys don't have to worry about a subclass that you would like to see being locked behind a specific number. Every subclass will have its fair share in the sun of being chosen. So. And these are all of the subclasses. They're all themed based off of Deadbeats as well as KELD FALLEN IO. Faradian, like Pharaoh? No, like Cosmofar. This is 5e homebrew or just homebrew classes? These are all subclasses. And we will have the subclasses. We will have compatibility notes for both 5e and 5.5. So, yeah. Detective? Yeah, that'll be based off of Jesse's character, Logan. Can you use Foundry Wall in person? Yep, and I've done it before. And I've done it before. So. You got a subclass you want to see, make sure you come by and support. Range to me yeah, I didn't want to do fighter. Yeah, I didn't want to do fighter. And yeah, some of the subclasses are kind of like switched around. So for example, the Faradian sorcery is going to be based off of Hellebore. Hellebore wasn't a sorcerer, Hellebore was a wizard. So yeah. Path of the Bounty Hunter is going to be based off of Joe's character. Will he see you, Brett, as a player, or do you prefer being the DM? I prefer DMing. I recently played Joe Fudge's campaign. YouTube.com/Joe Fudge. So yeah. Yes. Correct. Indeed. All right. So tomorrow, 12 p.m. EST, we go live. I would love it if you guys showed up. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I would like for you to show up. So we'll see what happens. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm hoping we do okay. Is there a campaign to get into the IO lore because I want to get my friend into it? I mean, I would just do phase 3 playlist or phase 2 playlist. So yeah. All right. That's it. That's all I got for you guys. Oh yes. Fiendish Forge, if you backed Fiendish Forge, or if you would like to pre-order Fiendish Forge, specifically the VTT module, we're gonna be releasing that out here shortly. We got approved by Foundry, everything's ready to go. We're ready to distribute the keys. So I'm gonna be taking that off the pre-order store here soon. If you have not picked up a copy of the Fiendish Forge Foundry VTT module, please make sure you do so before I take it off the pre-order store. Because once it's off at the pre-order store, you're gonna have to wait for it to be released, and that's probably gonna be in the next couple of months. So, okay. Okay, thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being here. I hope you had yourself a wonderful stream and a wonderful time. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's a big day, KELD Fallen. I hope to see you guys there. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful time. Bye-bye. Oh, real quick, I'm gonna actually, wait, I'm not gonna leave. I'm gonna raid you guys over to our World of IO 24/7 channel because currently doing a hardcore marathon over there, 24 hours a day. Once I have some time, I'm gonna get the master, phase 3 master playlist going, and we're gonna play that in phase order, which should be a lot of fun. So, but that's gonna take some time that I currently don't have. So, but yeah, that'll be coming soon. All right, guys, have a good day. Bye. Goodbye.